So we should have an intro for our very professional podcast.
We should have been at an intro for our very professional podcast. What?
Yeah.
We
should have been had a yeah. The book we're reading this week is called Husband and Wife by
K.L Slater.
And yeah, just read the blurb.
My husband and I are fighting for our lives in hospital after a terrible car accident. But despite my pain, all I can think about is what our families will find behind our front door. The scarf that has been all over the news belonging to a dead young woman with honey-coloured hair. So, yeah, that's the blurb. For some reason, I don't know why they chose to go with honey-coloured hair rather than, say, blonde woman. I don't know why they specified. They really wanted to, because they said it multiple times.
Oh, I didn't even know. Was that the girl that got murdered?
Yeah, Sarah. I think
Sarah? Yeah, Sarah. That was their way of trying to character build.
Like paint a word picture, I guess. I don't know.
Character
You just say blonde. Blonde would suffice. Or it would suffice anyway for me.
So, I'm just looking for my notes. I should have had this.
You should have been had it.
Alright, so the story starts from Nicola's point of view. All we know so far is that Nicola is a happily married woman. Her and her husband K.L have a fully grown son called Parker, who is also married, and he also has a son called Barney. So Nicola is a wife and a grandmother. Her son Parker comes over to drop Barney off, and he tells his mother that he needs to talk to her. Not now, he says. Tomorrow. I don't want Dad or my wife to hear. So my question is, is it okay for Nicola to be keeping secrets from her husband? Shouldn't she be trying to tell Parker, we are your parents, we love you, you can tell us anything? Or is she doing the right thing by condoning her son's behaviour?
I think
straight into the question, you know.
Yeah, I know. Right?
straight into it.
I think under the circumstances, she's probably doing the right thing.
No. There's no under the circumstances.
Yeah, there's always under the circumstances.
Should you? So what? You think it's okay for your wife, for your girlfriend to keep secrets from you?
Well, like I said, under the circumstances.
What circumstances?
These circumstances.
Yeah, but we don't. She doesn't. Even Nicola doesn't know anything at this point.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Under the circumstances of what she knows.
She doesn't know anything at this point.
But that's what I'm saying. He said, I'm going to tell you something I want you to keep from Dad. Is she supposed to say, no, tell us both?
Well, that's what I thought.
That's what you thought?
Well, look, it's complicated. Raising children is complicated, which I don't know anything about it, right? But what I do know is if you don't keep your children's secrets, they're not going to tell you anything.
Yeah.
So, it's hard. What I would expect her to do is to go and tell the husband immediately, you know, Parker, even if you're lying to your son's face and say, yeah, I'm going to keep the secrets, immediately go to the husband and say, yeah, this, that, and the other, I'm going to find out what's going on, blah, 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 blah.
I imagine that's the best thing about being a parent. You get to lie to your children's faces and it's all
double
okay.
I genuinely think the woman should be a double agent and the father's the authoritarian. So
yeah,
he comes, so the mother's there to the child saying, listen, if you don't behave, I'm going to have to tell Daddy, but if you behave yourself, then we don't have to tell him. So, you know, that way the child can always come to the mum, and then the mum can selectively or always tell the dad, but she's got to keep the dad under control. Because if the son tells the mum something and she goes and tells the dad, and the dad wants to go beat the son straight away, it gives the game away. So she's got to say, listen, this one you gotta take that one on the chin. And whatever. So there's definitely some espionage going on with parenting. I think that's the best way to do it. But no, she should not be keeping stuff from her husband. And I think a lot of these things that are going on in this story could have been handled very easily if people weren't lying to each other. If so many husbands weren't lying to their wives, and so many wives weren't lying to them. If they all just came clean immediately,
there was
definitely no one would be dead.
There was definitely no familial bonds between anyone. Like, there was no sense of family in any of these families, to be fair. Like, everybody, well, not backstabbing each other, but there was no trust, there was no anything. They basically weren't families, it was more like roommates. A main character is a woman called Nicola. Her son Parker and his father K.L don't really get along for some reason. I get the impression that Parker looks down on his father's lack of ambition, I guess, in regards to his small business or whatever. And Parker acting as though setting foot in their house is going to give him lurgies, rubs his dad up the wrong way.
What are you talking about?
Because like Parker didn't want to come into their house, innit? And his dad was like,
"No, you said you rubbed him up the wrong way." That didn't sound good.
Nicola thinks her son is an angel. However, it's an odd parental duality. Mothers typically don't see the flaws in their sons. Fathers typically don't see the flaws in their daughters. This is why the term "mummy's boy" and "daddy's girl" are so prevalent. But yeah, I thought it was super interesting that like he has a son that's like somewhat successful or whatever, like drives a good car. He said he pulls up in a Mercedes, has a girl, is married, son. He's not proud of him at all.
Yeah.
Literally does not. There's nothing there, and it was just super weird for that.
Yeah. So, in the very first chapter, a woman leaves a nightclub and stupidly decides to walk through a pitch black alleyway. And she is murdered. In short, she's murdered. She wanted to save herself 15 minutes by cutting through a dangerous alleyway, which is actually philosophical because that is so human. We risk our lives every day out of sheer laziness. And I'm going to immediately make a prediction on the murderer. I'm going to guess the baby father.
Oh,
okay. So her name's Sarah. She had a daughter, and I said purely
at home with her mum.
Yeah. I said purely because there's been no mention of him. The police have spoken to the mother of the dead girl, but not the father. Plus, but not to the baby father, right? Plus, somebody was waiting for her in the alley. This somebody knew she would come through that alleyway on her way home. She must have been through there hundreds of times, hence why she was so confidently walking through the dark alley late at night. Also, there was no sexual motive, because he already had that. So that's what I thought. Obviously, it was wrong. It wasn't the baby father. There's still no mention of Sarah's
That's true. So it's just a blunder.
What was a blunder?
By the author, not mentioning like Sarah's baby father.
Well, clearly wasn't important to the story, but she should have said
at least a mention.
Because
if something happens to you, they will gonna contact the baby father.
Yeah, exactly.
By hook or by crook, they're definitely gonna contact him.
But why didn't the author allow us to feel the pain and mystery of the murderer of the girl? Of the murder of the girl. We could have experienced it from the mother's point of view. 2 police officers knocking on her door, the mother of Sarah. 2 police officers knocking on her door, the confusion, her falling to her knees. We've been robbed. It's a tap-in.
Yes, but we also we don't care about the mum, but we don't care about the mum at the same time.
Of course, but that would have made us care. It would have made us care.
But she's not important in the story.
I know, but why would you not want to give your readers feelings?
She said because get feelings from some of the characters that actually matter to the story.
But anyone can put themselves in that shoes. We've all seen it on TV where the mother's making the tea, and then you see a black car pull up,
literally,
and
some
you
guy
see
in uniform.
Guys in uniform. You will see it. It's a tap-in. Not to mention when Sarah got murdered, they could have left that to mystery. The murderer could have just pushed her. She knocked her head, chapped her over. We don't actually know if she's dead or not. Yeah. And then we see the officers arriving at the door. To me, that's a tap-in. It's a tap-in.
I personally think it would have been weird to set us up to think the mother of Sarah is going to be like this super important character. Oh, just find out that she's not. But they did that anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah, because they went and visited
and they did it with a bunch of other characters.
And they did that with the police officers.
Exactly.
Well. Like, there was a chapter dedicated to them.
There was a whole
and then never again.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I put inside the first 4 chapters. I realise I complain about this every single book that we do, but inside the first 4 chapters,
I just complain about every book.
Inside the first 4 chapters, we've time skipped at least 3 times.
You hate it.
The prologue was 5 weeks earlier. Now we've jumped to 1 month earlier. Is this meant to be 1 week after the woman Sarah Grayson was murdered, or 1 month before that, or like? I discourage too much time skipping in novels, especially so early, because I want an easy read. If I wanted a mental workout, I'd do some maths. Points will be taken off for me having to try hard for this. Just say from that.
I like time skipping.
Look, I don't have a problem with the concept of time skipping. I don't have a problem with the concept of it at all. I have a problem with the execution of it. So when people use time skipping too much, like for example, let's say the first chapter or the first 2 chapters are like this scene, and then the 3rd chapter will be like 6 months earlier. I'm like, so none of this mattered, basically. None of this mattered. Literally, I've just invested in this.
To me, the whole point of a book is all character building. It's all supposed to make you feel something. All of it. So it doesn't matter if we time skip, it doesn't matter if we kill off characters. It's all about making the reader feel something. That's in my opinion. That's why we watch TVs. That's why we watch movies, because we want to experience and feel it and wish it was true. Yeah. So that's my piece. But yeah, you got to be careful, because I don't want microphones. I commend a good piece of creative writing by the author. The dynamic between the struggle between the grandparents for custody of the grandchild is very real and authentic. The only problem is that the paperwork conveniently makes Laura's family the legal guardians of Barney in an event of an emergency happening. Very suspicious. It's almost like yeah, but I would guess that Laura had something to do. Who's Laura? Luna. Her name's Luna.
Yeah,
I thought it was Laura at this point. Luna had something to do with the accident, because if her parents have got the child, it's almost like
that's true. Don't know what I thought about the accident, to be fair, because again, we
Did we
didn't get to
actually
see
let
that
these
info.
guys know what happened to the accident? I don't think we did.
Well, there was a car accident. There was a
yeah.
car accident. So Parker and Luna, who are
After they dropped off Barney, I think
they dropped off Barney, their son, to Nicola and Cal,
Their
who are
grandparents.
the grandparents.
on the dad's side,
On
on
the-
Parker's side, and then
Yeah.
they basically went off and had a car crash.
Yeah, that's essentially what they did.
That's
Car
literally
crash,
what
and they was
happened.
both in critical condition.
Critical.
So he was thinking Parker was worse. Parker was
Yeah,
worse off,
yeah.
but it was literally both.
Yeah, so they're both in
condition.
critical condition. So Parker's parents were looking after Barney, and then Luna's parents had paperwork to say, yeah, we get Barney in this event. And obviously there was a struggle between the grandparents because this side didn't want to give it over, and then this one backed out legal paperwork.
Yeah, literally.
and whatnot, which is
And I think Luna's parents had the money as well. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
we're gonna start legal action. I put this book should really be called, instead of husband and wife. This book should really be called Husband and Wife and Son and Daughter-in-law and Grandson and Others. There's Nicola and Cal, the grandparents. Then there's Parker and Luna, the actual husband and wife. Then there's Barney the boy. Don't forget that Luna's parents are mentioned.
Yeah.
And then there's the kidnapped girl. Oh, sorry, murdered girl. I put kidnapped because funny thing is, when I read it, I didn't actually know she got murdered. Like, I
oh
thought
yeah, no,
they
the first
grabbed her.
chapter was rushed. It was rushed.
Yeah, it definitely was. But so there's Sarah Grayson. So far I count 8 somewhat important characters rather than the 2 that I was expecting from the title Husband and Wife.
Yeah, but you still don't know who are the main husband and wife in the whole book. That's
We
the,
do.
the- no,
we do.
no,
know.
we don't.
Because the blurb is from Parker and Luna's perspective.
Yeah,
So we
but
do.
they weren't even in the book. You didn't
But
know
that's
that,
why.
right?
That's what I'm saying.
They
So it's a
weren't even
blunder.
in the book.
So it's a blunder.
Yeah, it's not a blunder. It was
I
a
think it's a
clever.
blunder.
I think it was a clever attack.
I think you're giving the author too much credit. I think it
That's
fell into
not
her
an
lap.
accident. That's
Fell
not
into her
an
lap.
accident. No.
It's like a 4-year-old that found an
There was
iPhone.
3 couples, 3 marriages, all were important, and Luna
But
and
that's what I'm saying.
Parker were not the most important.
There's
ones.
something aesthetically pleasing to the human brain about the number 3. Just feels. Do you know what I mean? There's something 3.
That's
just
what I say to
feels
my
like-
missus. But yeah, so the story moves on to Parker's mum. She takes Parker's keys. So Parker's her son, who's in critical condition. She goes to visit him in the hospital, and she takes his keys under the premise of going to his house for Barney's clothes. But obviously, she's going for a good old snoop, which is quite dishonest. So basically, she goes in to see her son, and she says to him, "Oh, I need to go get some clothes for Barney, because Barney was only supposed to be staying for a day. You know, we need to go and get some more." And he said, "Don't go to the house. Don't go." You know, so obviously she's gonna go
Straight away, immediately.
So
Next
she
stop.
went to the nurse. "Oh, I need his keys,"
Next
because he
stop.
obviously passes out. So she goes snooping. I think you can go next.
Yeah, immediately, straight away. I was thinking, was that a smart move on Parker's part to be like, don't go? I don't feel like he did anything other than make sure it was a next stop after the hospital. He must have known that, right?
Yeah.
Like, somebody's like, don't go to my house.
Okay, firstly, right.
You got the keys, yeah.
Firstly, he's not in the best frame of mind. But
That's
he's obviously
true.
he's awoken not enough to want to cover his own arse, though.
That's true.
So
Well,
for
you
one.
remember
For
that.
2, yeah. For 2, yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, well, definitely.
He could have just said, "Oh, I don't want to put you out of your way. Take my card, buy some clothes." Could have said that. Go on.
If that worked, that would have been a genius move on his part, though.
I should ask you how much notes you got. You got loads.
No, I haven't got loads, but I've got big ones, but I haven't got
Okay.
loads.
Alright. I might have to say. I'll go then. I'll say.
Yeah, go on.
It's funny how messy family issues can get. Normally, selfishness is at the root of it all. Nicola is hell bent on not letting the other in-laws take control of Barney because she believes she won't get to see him. It's funny how she hasn't thought for a second about what's best for Barney. She only cares about her own selfish wants and desires. Women. Wow, so the book has finally started. So upon Nicola snooping in Parker's house, she stumbles on a rubbish bag hidden in a refuse shed, which has sentimental items of Parker's, such as a photo of the time they all went to Alton Towers. So without thinking, she snatches up the bag and brings it home. She gets home, and while searching through it, she finds something very disturbing. The scarf from the murdered young lady that's been all over the news. The police put out an appeal for that exact piece of clothing.
Yeah, that's... What do you do in that instance?
Let me go on to the next point. Now, a message to the writer. You have my attention. I love the conflict of morality. What does the mother do? Of course she doesn't turn her son in, right? That would be a betrayal of the highest degree. You destroy the evidence, don't you? Right?
You don't destroy that.
Joseph, if it was you, I'd destroy the evidence. I don't care what heinous thing you've done. The old Bill can catch you another day, but not by my hand.
Which you don't
right? I don't care what you've done. You could have done it all, done everything. if evidence has fallen into my hands, I'm getting rid of it.
Yeah,
I'm not calling you up. What? Call the police?
No, I definitely wouldn't call the police. I'd not even suggest she call the police in the first place. And I think what she even did was stupid enough, to be fair.
She was a liability.
Genuine stupidity. But at the same time, the reason why I said getting rid of it is techie, because if someone can prove you got rid of evidence, you will go down along with whoever.
Listen, you don't have to know what it is. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, that's true.
But the problem is when bodies start piling up.
Yeah.
Then what do you do? Because you're also responsible for
now
those.
Co-conspirator.
Now you're responsible for the other deaths. So if you got on a tangent, you killed one, laid low for a bit, got away with it because I destroyed evidence. Now body starts piling up. Now I'm responsible. I could have put you away.
That's on your karmic slate, literally.
I'd be able to sleep.
Yeah.
I'd be able to sleep, no problem. I'm not putting you. You're not. No. Sorry, it's not. I am not snitching.
Yeah, there's no. And she even saw like the dilemma in her. She even said like rationalizing to herself. Well, I know Parker. He would never. There's no chance that he would ever. And it's like there was the one thing she knew she wasn't going to do was turn him in. That was the only thing she knew she wasn't going to do. No, I think if push came to shove, and she would have got rid of the evidence. But the one thing she
no, she's a law-abiding citizen because she did turn him in. She called up about the scarf. Well, she didn't destroy it anyway.
No, it was Luna that called the police.
Yeah, but she didn't have to say. Oh yeah, it's in my car or it's in the house.
They got her though.
They pulled up to the house. She could have said, "No, I don't have it. I don't know what you're talking about."
But remember, later on, she was like, "Why didn't I say that?" Because she literally said, "Why did I tell them it was in the car?" Stupid. But again,
she was tired. There's no excuse. You think someone can snitch on me and say, "Oh, sorry, I was tired for a murder"? Nah, brother.
Listen, if you were the one that did the murder, there's no way you can say to them, "Why did you snitch on me to do the murder?" Because I was tired. But I put towards the end, there was a flashback chapter where Luna says,
"How far are you going towards the end?"
No, towards the end of a chapter. Towards the end of the chapter, not the end of the book. Not the end of the book. Luna says, "From the moment I kissed him, I knew Parker was my soulmate, and I was never going to let anybody take him away from me." As sweet as it sounds, when you start hearing women say things like this, it might be time to get some milk from the store. It might be time. It might be about that time. Because when you say, "I'm not going to let anybody take you away from me," who's coming to take me away?
I've had a girl say to me, "If I can't have you to myself, no one can." She said, "If she's going to kill herself and take me with her." She was drunk though. Is that better or is that worse?
Nah, drunk doesn't make you say things you don't mean. It just removes your inebriations. That's literally all it does. It just removes barriers and filters.
No. She wasn't drunk. She was angry. Is that better? Is that
How did you confuse those?
No. Because I knew she wasn't herself. So she was angry. When you're angry, you say things you don't mean, right?
I think... I don't necessarily think you say things you don't mean. Think you say them with a level of severity or
so should I be
intensity
worried? So
that
if
you
someone
don't
said that to you,
have.
would you be worried? Or would you go,
"Oh, 100% I'd be worried."
I looked at it and I went,
I'd call the police.
I looked at it and I went, "Nah, she didn't mean it."
Living dangerously, my friend. But you call the police. Call the police.
You know who said it.
Call the FBI. Yeah.
It could only be one.
Call the SWAT. Call the FBI. Call everybody. Men in black. Flashing.
You know what? You know what you do? You record a message and say, "If I turn up dead, it was them." That's
100%.
And you let them know that you said that video as well.
100%. And record them while they said the thing to begin with. You can never be too careful.
But yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible that Nicola has to deal with this all by herself. The fact that she can't come to her husband and talk about anything. She went to the house, found a scarf, she kept it to herself, right? Nicola said it herself that K.L, her husband, would turn her in if he thought it was the right thing to do. And I've changed my position on this argument about 10 times. At first I said it's terrible that she has to deal with this alone, that she can't talk to her husband about this. But at the same time, as a man, should you not talk some sense into your sleep-deprived, emotional wreck of a life and say, "Our son made his decision. He's an adult. He knew the consequences of his actions. If he did a murder, it's not our job to cover up his mistakes. We shouldn't be risking our freedom to ensure his." Shouldn't you say that to your wife?
I mean, definitely should. It all depends on how. I think you should. I personally think you should. It's tough because it is his son. At the same time, at the end of the day, it is his son, and like
because blood is blood. It's not like he's 50. It's not like he's 30.
Yeah. No,
the parents should not be risking their freedom. You know, because they go to jail if they get, as you said, they're close to Bureau. So does that mean you expect my father to turn you in?
To be fair, it depends. Depends on what I've done. If I've done like, if they're like, just bodies have been found, then he probably would. To be fair, my dad probably would.
You think my dad was would?
I think he probably would if there's bodies have been found, because like
it's funny. So I asked my dad a question many years ago, and I said to him, if he found a gun in my room, would he call the police on me? And he said no. He'd go hand the gun into the police station. That's what he said. So maybe. He would cover your ass. No,
that's a different thing, innit? That's like you found a weapon that somebody shouldn't have. If bodies have like turned up on the news and like I've got the blood on my hands, that's different.
I spoke to a colleague at work, right? And he basically said if his son committed a murder, he'd say to his son, "Yeah, we've got to go away for a bit, into hiding."
Into all of them, like the whole family, pack their bags and go to hiding. Yeah. Jesus,
is that not real love?
Well, I think that's
commitment.
I think that's real loyalty.
Yeah, commitment. Yeah,
it's commitment.
So, do you not want your father to have that commitment for that level of commitment for you?
Well, there's a level of commitment I'd also describe as a level of stupidity as well. And it's like either which way you go, there's something to be looked at. There's something positive that you can look at. If he says, like because you've murdered this person, X amount of put me at risk, put Jen at risk, yada yada. I'm turning you in. I can at least be like, well, look, he's actually made the right decision as a dad. To be fair, because he's got probably more responsibilities to Jen than he has to me because she's younger. So I could look at that and be like, at least he's made the right decision there, yada yada.
Well, it's complicated. I don't want to get off topic too much, but I asked one of my friends that if he came to my house and there was $1,000 or $2,000 or $10,000 on the table underneath somewhere and he stumbled across it, if he doesn't steal that money from me, does it mean he's a bad father? Because
his family need that money.
His family could use $10,000.
If you're not rich, your family need that.
Yeah.
Basically.
So I said to him, you're either a good friend if you don't steal it, but that means you're a bad father.
And that means you're a better friend than you are a father.
Yeah, and isn't it more important for you to be a better father? So you should steal that money, right? And he couldn't answer the question. And I said to him, like that means I can't trust you now. Because
based on nothing, he's literally like,
I said I can't trust you now because a good father should steal that money, and if you're not a good father, I don't want you to be a good friend. he was just confused. He didn't know what to say.
One last question before we get back on topic though. One last question. If I called you randomly, I was like, Elijah, there's a body here, I need you to help me come bury it.
Hey! See now we're talking. Oh,
I said there's a body here.
No,
don't ask questions.
No, there's a difference between asking me to have an active hand in.
Yeah, hey, listen. I said the body's here.
No, okay, but as long as we're identifying this is a different thing. There's a difference between me covering up a little piece of evidence or to help you in it.
Literally. Get caught with
your
hand in the
I would have to come. I'd come. But
we just put the phone down.
No, I'd come. Depending where it is, but I'd be trying not to incriminate myself, and I'd have to take your phone. I'd have to switch off my phone. I would come. I'd come as long as it's not. If it's like a situation where it's like a body in a house, we're gonna have to carry it somewhere.
Just tell yourself in. Just tell yourself in, bro. Tell yourself in. I like to think I'll just turn myself in at that point because I wouldn't want to live like that.
It's techie.
Just like live like wondering.
But there are ways to get away with murders. Like for example, one of the best ways to get rid of a body is literally just bury it. But you don't bury it that way. You bury it that way.
Yeah.
Because they can't scan because they scan the ground with a helicopter and they're looking for a body shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get back on the topic. So Nicola is a very, very selfish person. Upon hearing that Parker's condition has worsened, she barges into the hospital and demands to see her son. Even though the doctor said that Parker needs to conserve his energy before his second operation, the doctor specifically said no difficult or distressing conversations. She then proceeds to ask him about the scarf that was found on his property. Why could that not wait?
Literally.
I mean, if he dies from surgery, he's scot-free anyway. So, she could have easily sat on the scarf and waited till she's better. Man, the doctor said no distressing conversations.
She asked him was distressing.
No distressing conversations, and he pulls out a piece of evidence of a murder.
She didn't just ask.
He might not even known about it.
She didn't even ask him about it. She said, "Backed it out."
Who's this?
Which is probably the most distressing thing they could have possibly talked about at that moment. Ever. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So not only did she barge into the hospital and question her son, she decided to let Luna know that she's found the scarf outside her house, even though Parker said Get rid of it. Luna will ruin me.
Literally. Ridiculous.
Is she some kind of idiot? Even if she wanted to question Luna, why would she make it known that she has the scarf? Then, the damning piece of evidence, she knows that her son's marriage is on the rocks. What's wrong with her? Sleep deprivation is the only reason I can find. Even if you said, do you know anything about a scarf? Or, not to say, look at this piece of evidence that can put my son away for life.
Literally. It's ridiculous.
So what happens next? Luna obviously calls her parents distress, explains everything about the scarf, and her parents convince her to notify the police, and she does. Betrayal.
All because of Nicola.
Betrayal.
All she had to do was...
That's a betrayal, though. How's your wife calling police on you? Till death do us part.
Yeah, because the
police.
parents told us.
What?
Yeah, no, I don't. I put Nicola is an idiot, telling both Parker and Luna that she found the scarf in their house. Since it's in their house, at least one of them knows something about it.
Yeah.
One of them knows something about Sarah Grayson. All she has done is let the person know that she's onto them. Since Nicola went to the house alone, who's to say she didn't bring the scarf with her and plant it there? Literally, she has zero witnesses, nobody to say that she didn't put it in there or even found it in there to begin with. She told both of them that I've got it, I found it in your house and I'm onto you. One of them is going to have to be like, obviously, didn't turn out to be the killer, but I was thinking if one of them was the killer, she's finished now. Because now they both know.
There's something I need to get off my chest. Women, for some reason, think that cheating is the worst thing you can do because it's a betrayal. Betrayal is betrayal. It doesn't matter which form it comes under. There isn't a man in the world that will put their hand up and say, I want a woman that snitched on her ex-husband before me. That's called the police on their ex-husband. It's a disgusting betrayal. You should be down for your husband to the end. And in many ways, that's worse than men cheating on women. There are women out there that will say, I don't mind if my man cheats on me, as long as I'm taken care of financially. Go online, you'll find that. But as I said, there's no men that will say, I don't mind if my girl rats on me to the police.
Yeah.
So technically, calling the police is worse than cheating.
To be fair, it's calling the police as well. It's a kind of thing where you have to go out your way to call the police to notify.
It's not like you lot have been caught and then someone flips on the other. Under pressure. The police are designed to turn you against each other.
100%. And they was even trying to do that later on in the book. But
for you to go out of your way,
like you rang 999.
The police had no leads.
They was eating donuts.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is genuinely ridiculous. There is a lot going on. There's a whole lot going on in this story all at once. Parker and Luna are in critical care after their car crash. Nicola and Cal are busy looking after Barney and trying to fight that legal action that Luna's parents were talking about. And in the meantime, Nicola has found a scarf which could implicate somebody in Sarah Grayson's murder. And while all this is going on, we're also seeing flashbacks of Parker and Luna from years ago while she suspects he is cheating on her. While I was reading this, I was thinking, what if Parker is cheating on her with Sarah Grayson? So Luna killed her and planted her scarf to frame Parker for the crime. That's literally where I was thinking the story was going to go.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would have been good.
It'd be a bit much, though.
It'd be a bit much.
But she
not only murder,
to be crazy.
Murder and obstruction of justice, because you have to set somebody else up for the crime you committed, which is obstruction of justice. That's
that would
crazy.
Be genius, though.
That is a genuine psychopath level of scheming and planning. You should get a death penalty for that.
So the police turn up at Nicola's house. Obviously, she's the only person who didn't see it coming. Somehow the scarf's vanished, though, because I don't know what that was about.
I had to go back to make sure I didn't miss anything, because it just seemed like the scarf just
it did. That is literally how it was in the book. So basically, Nicola put the scarf in her car. Police turned up, pressed her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I do have the scarf." They were like, "Oh, we got reports that Luna." Basically, Luna told us you got the scarf.
They literally didn't. They said it.
They literally. She was like, "Oh yeah, it's in the car." So then she goes to the car, and it's not there. So at that point, I said, I could only assume that the husband has covered her tracks and got rid of it. But anyway, they take Nicola to the station for questioning, and they get a squad cars come down. They tip her house. As much as I'm enjoying the story, Nicola is useless. She's literally thrown her son on the bus. She hasn't even asked for a solicitor or anything.
Okay,
She didn't even ask-
that's a blunder of disproportionate oversight. So, come on.
So squad cars and police vans turn up and they do a thorough search of the house and they find the scarf and some other items, which they never mention. They said they found some other items.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Parker's condition takes a turn for the worst. You got anything? How many more you got?
No, not that many more. I've got some, but most are about the ending, to be fair.
Well, we're getting to the ending now.
Alright, just go again.
I like the character of Nicola. She's very realistic, not superhuman or not funny or amazing in any way. She's actually subtly 2D. There's no form of character building on her part at all. But because the story is so action-packed, I think it's difficult to notice because we don't actually know anything about Nicola at all whatsoever.
That's true.
Nothing.
We know she...
Height, body type,
know,
likes, dislikes. We don't know anything.
All we know about her is that she basically doesn't see any of Parker's flaws. She loves him to bits, loves Barney to bits. That's pretty much all we know about her.
She's just a mother.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally
that's her personality, mother.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What?
I think... You're like, what? No,
yeah, literally.
Oh, wow. I think my perspective on morality might be about to change.
Okay.
Sarah, the murdered girl, might have been trying to blackmail Parker.
Yeah.
And there's only one solution when it comes to blackmail. Kill him.
Kill him. That is genuinely the only solution to blackmail.
But it was a nice little morality flip. Because Sarah was the victim. And now...
We thought.
Yeah, we thought. And obviously she is a victim of murder. But
we saw what the public would have seen.
She was blackmailing Parker, or so we thought.
This is the
way they revealed it was quite good.
100%. This is the dilemma that the public. This is what the public see as well. The public never see they just see victim straight away, perpetrator. They just see what they're told to see and hear what they're told to hear. So it's how many situations have we seen on the news or seen in public that are exactly like this? We don't know.
I think I've got another point here, and I think it might be rambling, but I'm going to say it anyway. See what happens. Going back to the scarf and the whole mystery entirely, if we figure out what only makes sense, then we can hopefully figure out the truth. The scarf is a very easy thing to get rid of. It could be burnt, it could be buried, it could be discarded, but not in your own house.
Yeah, nah, come on.
So that means it must have been planted. But by who? It has to be the wife. Especially with her willingness to work with the police. She's trying to get rid of Parker. She's finally sick of his cheating ways. So yeah, wait. How did the scarf get there? What happened? He put it in the trash. Well, I don't know if we're jumping ahead.
I think we might be jumping ahead. I don't know. At this point, I broke my cardinal rule. I said, so who actually took the scarf out of my car? Because I broke my cardinal rule. My cardinal rule is if I miss something in the book, push through. Never rewind. I broke my cardinal rule. I rewound because I was like, if I've missed this is important.
Yeah.
If you say something about this, and I just have no idea what you're talking about. I was convinced that I missed something. But if Parker or Luna were both in critical condition, that means they couldn't have done it. Do you see what I'm saying? So either they're innocent or they're not the only ones involved. That's literally why when I started clocking that. Because up until now, I thought Luna did everything. I thought she did everything.
Yeah. They were painting Luna out to be...
Definitely.
They were painting Luna out to be crazy anyway.
They painted her out to be crazy and Parker to be a cheater and like everyone else. Yeah. Just normal.
So it's confirmed. Sarah is definitely blackmailing Parker. Sarah is an online stripper, right? She's an online stripper, and she goes on to say that to herself that she doesn't feel bad because he deserves it because he's a liar and a cheat. So what? Is she right? Before you answer, I'm just explain. So she's an online stripper, right? She gets guys to, she's on some form of platform, and she gets them to give her email, hit their email, so then they can move the chat and get personal and cut out the online platform. They can pay her directly. But then what she does is when you make an account on that app, you have a funny name or whatever, but your email is normally your actual name. So she gets their name, Googles them on Facebook, sees that they got wife and family and whatever, because those are the only type of people who pay for strippers and whatnot.
Literally got money, even
yeah. And then she blackmails them, and she basically says they deserve it anyway because they're cheating on their woman. That's what you get. Yeah. Is she right?
Okay, no. And the reason why I say no is because she's taken it upon herself to be judge, jury, and executioner for profit bearing in mind. Like, she doesn't put a stop to any other crimes.
She doesn't
or whatever.
donate the money to charity.
Do you see what I'm saying? You're not Batman, not a vigilante. You're doing this for profit.
Alright.
And you're doing it to pacify, you tell yourself that to pacify yourself, basically.
Alright, but do they deserve it though?
Well, define deserve.
Well, that's
what I mean? Define deserve.
Deserve means that you've worked or you've earned something, right? And
so you reaped what you've sown.
Yeah, you've earned the right for something because you've put in the work. That's what I believe deserve to be. And if you put yourself in that position, you know, you're doing what you shouldn't be doing. And if you get catch,
I think it depends.
It's karma. You do deserve it.
I think it depends. Not only, I think it depends if you believe bad people receive bad things from the world, or people who do bad things get bad things back. Do you believe that? Which is the basis of karma, anyways. People who do bad things, what goes around comes around, basically.
I don't believe what goes around comes around.
Then if you don't believe in that, then you don't believe they deserve what she did to them. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, but why could... It serves them... To me, it serves them right.
Well, it serves them right,
you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
You got catch. There you are.
And
if you wasn't doing what you're supposed to be doing, then you couldn't be blackmailed. You can't con on this man. That's what they say.
Yeah, they always
say
that.
To me, you deserve it. She's not right, but you still do deserve it. You deserve it. You asked for it. You literally asked for it. You gave away your actual name. You're on the site that you shouldn't be. You deserve it. So she isn't right. Sarah's not right for doing that. But they asked for it.
To be fair, she reaped what she sowed as well. To be fair.
Yeah, well, she deserves it too.
As well.
She deserves it. You can't blackmail people for you're gonna get.
You can't. That's what I'm saying. Especially not in the manner.
She was doing loads of them though,
and she did the most. She did the most. Lucrative little business for her, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah. At the end of the day, I would have preferred if the story was changed so that Parker was actually having sexual relations with Sarah, because at the end of the day, Parker was paying for porn. That's pretty much what it was. If you think I'm going to get blackmailed $1,000 a month over porn, you're mad. Also, unpopular opinion time, if you can't communicate the fact that you've cheated on your wife and you've had to resort in being blackmailed, which is taking tens of thousands of pounds away from your family, then you got a problem. Get a new wife. If it was me, I'd reverse Sarah. She seems to have some sort of misguided sense of morality, and I'd play on that. I'd say, I'm not paying you shit. It's well within your power to tell my wife and destroy my family. You uproot and destroy my children's lives. Do you think that's the right thing to do? Literally. If so, then I encourage you to do so.
And you might drop free as well.
Might drop.
Get paid.
You go home and you do not come clean to your missus. You wait. Wait. Literally. If Sarah snitches, then you tell your wife she can dry her eyes on the plane tickets of first class seats and take her on a family holiday somewhere exotic. That's a much better use of 10 grand. 100%. Listen, you can't.
One thing you don't do is pay her. That's like the one thing you don't do.
She can still drop the bomb. She can get
if
drunk.
You tell your wife,
She could get drunk. You've paid her to get drunk and drop the bomb anyway, just for bands.
Literally. That's the worst thing.
No,
literally. The one thing you don't do is pay her. Because like you could you can tell your wife if you want. You could take the bullet out of the chamber if you want. But that's what I'm saying. Whatever it is. He
wasn't even smashing.
Whatever it is.
Oh, sorry, wife. I was watching porn.
If you could take the bullet out of a chamber if you want to do. The one thing you don't do is pay her, because literally blackmailers, they're opportunists. And like I said, there's always gonna be, you always need more money. Do you know what I mean? you can always use more money. And the bullet, blackmailers, if you don't fire the bullet stays in the gun. You can keep using it.
Yeah. I've got 4 more points.
Alright, let me say this one. I put Nicola is genuinely stupid. She has found the scarf, some piece from an active murder scene. She's found the scarf. She told both the potential culprits that she found the scarf in their house. And then she decided to hide it in her car boot. In your car boot. So what, like the car boot, that's like hiding something under your bed.
Yeah.
Your car boot? It's ridiculous. If one of Parker or Luna were going to set her up to go down for murder, it would be all too easy. If Nicola were caught with the scarf, her only evidence will be that she found it. Which is a statement she has zero evidence for witnesses to back up. I'm pretty sure every single murder suspect in history would have said, "Oh yeah, I found it." I don't know how this cocaine turned up in my pocket, Your Honor. There was a woman that said cocaine fell into her handbag.
Fell in her nose, did it?
The police officer must have been like, "What?" This is the first time I've heard that. But yeah, it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous how like Nicola, like you really thought, let me hide this murder weapon.
She blundered everything. Also, if she was not in the story, it would have been much better for everybody. Like, if she was not a character, everyone would have got away with everything.
Genuinely. The only thing she didn't cause was the car crash. That's actually the only thing she didn't cause
the car crash. It was Parker getting stressed about everything.
Yeah, she did. She literally caused everything. She literally calls it.
If Cal was single, there'd be no worries.
Yeah,
There'd be no worries. But yeah. So Luna's dad, Joe, is quite a good character. He's easygoing, big on responsibility and family. He agreed to lend Parker 10k at a moment's notice just because Parker needed it.
Yeah.
I'd go on to say that he's stepfather of the year because he found out about Parker's infidelity and he was still heavily involved in helping Parker. Joe himself was no stranger to infidelity, so that does explain it. What was that bullshit about him fathering another child and then that child ended up being Luna?
Yeah,
like,
I said that was
nonsense.
It
was nice, but you
but
wrote
it was
in
like
for no reason.
It had zero impact on the story. It had zero impact on the story. But then even Luna being upset about it, I was like, this woman, she still raised you. Like at the end of the day, she still chose to do literally everything. It wasn't easy for her, you know, to raise that whole child.
So yeah. Joe himself was no stranger to infidelity, so apparently that does explain it. It's interesting that perpetrators of infidelity are able to look past the behaviours of other perpetrators, even though his own daughter was a victim. So it's nice to see that he wasn't acting on a double standard, you know, because he's a cheater. And to say, oh, how could you cheat on my daughter? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But it's almost like Joe thinks Parker plays at home, but he likes to enjoy himself with an away game too. He's not hurting anybody. So at this point, I still don't know why. I still don't know what's going on. But as it stands, Luna, Joe, and Parker are all having a conversation where Parker is being forced to confess everything to Joe by Luna. So clearly, Luna, his wife, knows everything. At this point, it's just us readers that have been kept in the dark as to what actually happened. So we don't know what happened with all this. What is it that we don't know? We know that Parker's being blackmailed.
Yeah.
But Luna knows everything.
But I'm confused what she knows, because he was like, she'll ruin me. And I was like, what did he mean by that?
Yeah, but that was... We are jumping... This was the time jump back.
Oh,
this is the time...
right,
so
yeah,
basically...
so about time skips.
Basically, they all sat down. This is before the accident. Joe, who's Luna's dad, Parker and Luna all sitting down. This is after Parker's already asked for the 10 grand.
Yeah.
To try and get this stripper who's blackmailing off his hands, off his back,
off his case, yeah.
And then they have a car crash, and we still don't know. We do find out what happened, but even the car crash was pointless. It was pointless.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a car crash after. But yeah, I've got 3 more. Did we do it?
Yeah, I'll go. But this book is proof of the truth about blackmail. For the victim, there's no way out. There's only a way through. Suppose you stumbled upon a secret that you knew somebody would do anything to prevent from coming out. You're not a bad person. Maybe you have debts. Maybe you're behind on your rent. Whatever. You've seen an opportunity. You've gone for it. That's literally all you've done as a blackmailer. You just need a little to make ends meet this month. You deserve something for your silence, right? You're covering up a crime here. You deserve something, right? Can't do that for free. Then, a little ways down the road, you're thinking, you know what would be nice? Be nice to have something put away for the kids, right? Like, I mean, that's the dream, right? Enough for a little car or something. Somewhere along the way, you stop thinking, what if they need a car? You start thinking, what if I need a car?
You know what? You made a good point, because we say Nicola deserves it, and maybe she does, right? Or she's a bad person. But Parker's paying for her silence. That's what it is. You're paying me to stay silent.
Yeah, literally.
You know? So yeah, it's techie. It's techie.
Yeah, I said it's easy for me, some guy on the internet, to sit here and say this, but if you're going to confront a blackmailer, the worst thing to do is to cave to their demands. You have to be prepared to be burnt. You have to know how bad you could be burnt and be prepared for the eventuality that it could just happen. That is essentially the only way through. There's no way out of the blackmail. Definitely not caving to the demands. That's how you get. That's digging deeper.
I don't remember. Like I still don't understand. To me, okay. I think we're just gonna have to basically explain what happened.
Yeah.
So basically, the writer was very, very good. They led us to believe that Parker was being blackmailed, but what actually was happened was Cal. Cal is Nicola's husband, and Nicola is Parker's mum.
Yeah.
So Parker is covering for his dad. So his dad was getting blackmailed by this Sarah, and you know, Parker finds out that his dad's been cheating on his mom, in brackets, because it's porn, and he hides it from his mom because his mom just got over cancer surgery and chemotherapy, and he said, he doesn't want to ruin her or whatever. So Parker's doing all of this. You know, his wife's been following him all throughout. You know, he's been going out to lunch to try and pay this Sarah girl to keep her quiet, and it's been making him stressed. And you know, so it's ruined his own marriage because Parker's wife thinks he's been cheating on him or whatever, right? But it's all the dad.
Yes,
press the
side button.
Yeah. But yeah, Nicola's a liability. She has single-handedly blundered all the plans from the handkerchief.
Yeah,
from the scarf.
You've done it again.
The scarf to Cal's incriminating paperwork. There are two plot holes though. One, why didn't Cal get rid of the scarf? So basically, we find out that Cal was the murderer. Cal murdered the woman, and he was the one being blackmailed by her. So Nicola finds paperwork in Cal's office and calls the police on him.
Yeah, no, so that was the part where I was like,
this is another thing. Why would Cal even be worried that if Nicola finds out he's cheating? She's gotten over cancer. Yeah. She's an old woman. Like, what, you're going to leave me and find some other... Like, what are you going to do?
Find a younger guy.
Who wants you? Do you know what I mean?
He's like 60 as well. Like,
do you know what I mean?
60 years don't care about anything. Like, yeah. They're too old to care about anything.
Like, what are you going to do? We've been together 20 years. Will you just leave me? Because I was watching porn. It didn't make sense. So.
He was probably thinking, even if you do leave me...
Win-win. Spend more money with Sarah.
That's what I'm saying, spend more money on porn.
But yeah, there are two plot holes. One, why didn't Cal get rid of the scarf once Nicola brought it in? Because he did. I think Nicola did bring it to his attention at some point that they got the scarf. Do you remember? No, they 100%.
Oh yeah.
So why didn't Cal say, "Oh shit," get rid of it?
That is true, but to be fair, the amount of rolls of the dice that had to land perfectly on 6 for this scarf to not have been destroyed in the first place, like the fact that Parker even had it, and he was like, Luna should have destroyed it, Parker should have destroyed it. Like,
either way, if I'm at home, I committed a murder, in 2 weeks, my wife comes in, my wife comes in with, oh look, I think it's our son's. I'd say, is it? Let's cover his ass. Yeah. Burn that straight.
Literally.
2,
yes, literally.
How did the police not find the damning paperwork when they searched the whole house?
That is also true.
Because the paperwork was just there. It was just there.
On the table.
Nicola just walked in and found it.
That's true. Well, how did they not find it?
So that was 2 massive plot holes. I feel like Cal, somebody who has become the evil character, his wife, I don't think he's evil. Because he did murder the girl. His wife was on death's door. She wasn't giving him any action. So he went online for some porn. He didn't actually cheat, Then he fell victim to a scam and blackmail. And then he accidentally killed the perpetrator. Okay, he definitely fucked up by strangling her. But is he a monster?
What they said is that they charge him for murder because it's like the fact that he followed her shows premeditation and things like stalked her into that.
Mate, you're 100% get murder. There's no...
When he was like manslaughter, I said manslaughter.
If you knocked her over the head and then she died... You could probably say manslaughter. She was blackmailing me. I went to talk to her. She got angry.
You died from strangulation.
And you'd have to hand yourself in as well.
Oh yeah, as well.
So yeah, and then you'd probably still get 15. You'd get 15 years. Definitely.
It's not going to be like, come on, in that those
you're not getting. Yeah,
it's
you're
not
getting
like,
15.
It's not like.
So did Parker do the right thing by not telling his mum when he caught his dad on the laptop? So basically, Parker went on Cal's laptop, figured out he'd been on these porn sites, and instead of him coming clean to the mum, he decided to hide the evidence and help Cal, because he realized his dad was being blackmailed. So then he included himself into it to try and pay off the strip or whatever, instead of just coming to the mum and saving them thousands and thousands of pounds and a murder and everything.
I don't understand how they can afford like chemotherapy at the same time as paying thousands and thousands of pounds out to this blackmailing bitch.
Well, this is ridiculous. This is the UK. It's free.
Oh yeah, of course, I forgot.
But yeah, did he do the right thing?
Well, I don't. I mean, in retrospect, definitely not.
Well, yeah, but in the moment,
his decision was admirable, and you can understand why he did what he did.
I would not snitch on my dad if he was cheating on my mother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His decision in the moment was admirable. I didn't see anything.
I'd be like, oh, you joker, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Don't get caught, man.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Men will be men, but don't get caught, bro.
Yeah, nah. I wouldn't. Yeah, I
blow
wouldn't
the
say
house
anything.
up. I mean, not literally blow our family up. Don't get
Literally
caught,
blow up
you
the
know.
nuclear
So I've
family.
got
Whole
one.
union.
I've got
Yeah,
one
let me
more
go
point.
then. I put Sarah's an idiot though. I just realised I've called so many of these characters idiots, but once it gets to the point of once it gets to the stage of a strange man following the streets after dark through desperation, she should have read the situation, realised desperation makes people do funny things. Most people are one bad day away from being psychopaths. And 1v1 in a cold dark alleyway in Nottingham, most men will make short work of most women. And it seemed like she just was not aware of any of these facts. But to be fair, she did leave a club at like 2 a.m. alone, like taking taking shortcuts down. Yeah, literally taking shortcuts down alleyways, whatever. So it just doesn't seem like she was aware to danger at all. But Sarah didn't play it smart. She poked the bear and got herself killed. Threatened him, made fun of him till he lashed out. All it took to turn a regular tax-paying pensioner into a murderer was one bad day and a plank of wood with rusty nails in it. But yeah, when you say her victims deserve what they get, it's always tough to say somebody deserves to die because like very few, well not very few, but like it's not a light thing to say. But she definitely put herself into that situation. She definitely
in many ways.
steps.
I mean, even if she didn't walk down the alley, she'd be alive. Like, why are you walking?
You
down
could
the
have
alley
fucked up in
late at
so many
night?
different ways and then just done that one thing right and lived. But yeah, 100%. I wouldn't walk down that kind of alleyway at night. I mean, like, come on, Jesus Christ. You know that alleyway
Men can get raped too.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Why
are you laughing?
Men get
It's
raped
not
more.
funny,
Men get raped more.
I don't know if that's true.
No, because of jail. It has to be in it. Because of prison. It has to be in it. Puts the numbers over there.
I don't know. I'm disappointed. That was nah. No, that's funny. That's definitely going into the YouTube shorts. But yeah, I'm disappointed with the ending. Why is Cal a despicable and disgusting, but not Sarah? No mention of Sarah's blackmail.
Oh yeah.
Sarah's line of work was designed to target older married men. They said it themselves while Sarah was talking to her friends. It's mostly old men that want you to send them kinky videos. They usually have wives. That is targeting. Are you such a bad person if you fall victim to a trap set by a perpetrator, especially when your desire for these hot young women is something that is rooted deep into your biology, and there's nothing you can do about it? You know, he fell into it. He got sucked in.
He's designed to get sucked into it. He's the
demographic. Is he that
target
bad of a
demographic.
person?
He's the target demographic.
It's like you know it is. You know what it's like. It's Ramadan.
He's weak-willed. That's essentially what it was.
What is weak-willed? As I'm going to say, it's Ramadan now. You know, you feel hungry throughout the day. You're fasting. You feel hungry throughout the day. You know, you stumble into the kitchen. Someone's cooking, and you smell the food.
100%.
You know, and you just take a little bite of something. Are you evil?
No, of course not.
He had a piece of the forbidden fruit.
Literally.
He didn't even really have a piece. If it was me, I'd had a good piece of it. Make it count. I'm not going down for that. Man said, "You think my wife come to me? Oh, you were watching porn? Shut up! Shut up!" Oh my days! But yeah, nah. The book was interesting. It had some technicalities in there. It had some, perspective on morality and whatnot. It was clever. It was a clever little book.
It's definitely moral questions in there, like who should turn on who and what you would do in such a situation, things like that. Hold on, let me just read one. I think I've got two more. Let me just read them. When the police pulled up in Luna's room, her parents did not back it. They did not back it. They wasn't having it at all.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So two police officers came in. I think it was, Brewster and Price. It doesn't matter what the names are. And they say, we need to speak to everybody involved on the record. Immediately, Luna's dad, who's ironically his name's Joe, of course.
He said something like, I told you not to.
No. Not even before he said that. He literally said, well, I know I have nothing to hide, and neither does my daughter. And Carl was like, I'm the only other person in the room. Why would you say that? Wait.
Stop recording.
I was literally, the police were like, this is going to be easy one. They were like,
I didn't Carl just came out. Yeah, I
told you to burn the thing. And then he was like, I don't take orders from it. I was like, the police were like, you're confessing to everything. You're confessing to everything.
He basically said, and then Cal said, yeah, I murdered the girl, but I didn't do it alone.
He literally said, now I put Luna's dad and Cal fumbling around trying to lie to the police is hilarious. It just goes to show that lying to the police isn't as easy as most people think it is. If what you're saying happened, you'd be able to prove it. Having said that, Luna told the police everything. She snitched on everybody. And Cal said, best believe I'm not going down by myself. That's literally what he said. He said, if a head must roll. He proceeded to do his best to drag everybody down with him.
No, but Cal's a joker though. He's the one that got blackmailed. Then he went and did the
100%.
murder, and then he got caught with the scarf.
He matters into his own hands. He took matters into his own hands at every.
He could have just burnt the scarf instead of giving it to Cal anyway. Why do you think I'm letting that out my sight? I'm burning it, bro.
100%.
It's a scarf.
Literally,
it's not hard. You put it in a bucket, you burn it. It's not hard.
Immediately, I don't know how.
Oh my god!
As soon as he got home, this guy should burn that. As soon as he got home,
bin it or burn it. Something.
Yeah, nah, that's. And even the police were like, "Well, if we didn't have that scarf, you lot would have got away with that."
If it wasn't for those meddling scarves.
Literally, so you lot would have got away with that.
Oh
So, boy, it just goes to show.
Oh, and we have a book.
Oh yeah, we do.
I just need to find it.
Isn't it that one, the food one?
No.
Oh, you don't do that one.
Not yet. We've got something. I can't find it. Maybe we don't have a book. We definitely do though.
I mean, if we don't have your one, then we have one.
No. Apparently, this is a really, really good book.
Fair enough.
It is. I don't even know how to say it. Piranesi.
Let me see. Yeah, it looks like Piranesi.
Piranesi by Clark. It's supposed to be one of the best books.
Fair enough.
So hopefully,
yeah. Who's Clark?
Well, you got it right. You got it right.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, though, but before we get on to talking about next week's book, what is your rating for this book?
Okay, storyline. What do we have? We've got different
Had like
categories.
storyline,
Characters.
characters, had like innovation, like how new is it?
Innovation is good because innovation. I'd say what is it on the scale of 1 to 5? 1
Yeah,
to 3?
1 to 5.
I'm pretty sure we did 1 to 3 last.
We actually probably did 1 to 3.
Let's just stick to 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
I'd say innovation, originality, 3.
I don't think it was that. I wouldn't say so because
It's
like
original.
the bones of the story were like I've seen this before where it's like there's like a murder mystery or a crime being committed and you think it's that person, you think it's this person, and then it's the husband of the woman. Do you remember there was, not to get off topic real quick, but do you remember there was a story we read when we was young called Dangerous Reality? Don't know if you remember, there was a book we read called Dangerous Reality, and it was about a mum that made a robot. She was like a scientist. She made a robot, and it was like supposed to like clear out pipes and do jobs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
You remember that? And it was just the husband, and it's like the bones of the story are exactly the same. And it's
Wait,
like
what was the husband?
her husband basically
And then
killed his first wife, and then buried her body underneath some construction,
Yeah, I
whatever.
remember
And then the
that.
robot that his new wife made was gonna like investigate. And
he
it wasn't even looking for that. They was
sabotaged-
just
yeah,
they just ended up sabotaging everything from behind the scenes. And it's like the bones of this story are exactly the same.
I feel like the name was Alex. The woman's name was Alex.
You might be right.
think
I don't remember her
it's-
name. I just remember her son, because she had a son who the robot nearly killed him. But
Well,
regardless,
the reason why I think it's original is because the complexity between, we all thought it was Parker,
yeah,
and it ended up being Dad, and yeah, I just thought it was an original story. Was it not an original idea?
well, I don't think like the skeleton of the story was original. I don't think it went in any original directions. I feel like the execution might have been original, perhaps, but I don't think like the story.
Okay,
was an
well, I'll
original
still
story.
say 3 for story because it had the philosophical sides to it. You
Fair
know,
enough.
the perspective of morality. You know, which is that made it 3D because Sarah's the victim, but she's also the perpetrator, and Cal's
Yeah,
the
100%.
victim, and he's also the perpetrator. And then we've got everybody lying to everybody, and everyone keeping secrets from everybody.
Yeah.
Because we've got Nicola who's keeping secrets from her husband, and then her husband keeping secrets from her. So it was a complex. I thought it was good. No
Yeah,
character
no,
building
definitely.
at all whatsoever. None. We don't know
I was
anything
just about
about
to say anything
anybody.
about the characters.
We don't know anything about anybody.
Also, I was like, why is there no such thing as a family unit in this book? Like nobody was together. Everybody was lying in their whole
Yeah.
family was just built on lies. Like
Yeah.
the woman who wasn't really her mum, was built on lies.
Yeah.
But everything was just built on lies. Yeah, so character would go 0.
Yeah,
character would go 0.
But overall, look, the book was worth reading.
It was definitely worth reading. It's definitely worth reading. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But again, one of my major gripes is like there's just
Time
too
skipping.
many characters. I don't
Time
really
skipping.
buy into your time skipping as well. I forgot about that.
You don't
one,
buy
thank
into
you.
my what?
I don't buy into your theory about husband and wife means 3 sets of. I just feel like she's blundered. To be fair,
Fair enough.
but yeah, definitely worth reading.
Definitely worth reading. Not one of the best books we've read, but it was strong.
It was strong.
It was
strong.
It wasn't. there was no feeling in there. That's the problem.
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
true.
It was betrayal after betrayal after betrayal. It was disappointment after disappointment. Now you snitched on your son, and then you snitched on your husband, and then you snitched on this person. So yeah.
Nicola, the ultimate snitch. man.
Ultimate snitch. Can't trust her as far as I can throw her, mate.
In Farmer.
Never do a crime with her. Bloody hell.
Can't take her nowhere.
Snitch on us out. You mean?
He gets stitches.
But yeah, listen. Till next time, eh?
Till next time. Ah, Liverpool just scored. Jesus Christ.